Welcome back to Houston Life. It is National Heartworm Awareness Month, and more than 1 million of our furry friends in the U.S. suffer from heartworm disease. And a local Poochipug named Lucky was sadly part of that statistic.
Now, it wasn't until Houstonians Pat and Howard London adopted him from the Houston Humane Society that Lucky was able to make a full recovery. The Londons are now sharing their story of recovery and resilience through their children's book, Lucky the Poochipug. They're joined by Macy Stays with the Houston Humane Society. Welcome to Studio B, everyone.
Thank you.
Thank you
for having us.
Great to be here.
Well, we're so happy to have you. And I got to just start with the obvious question. Poochipug, what is a Poochipug?
Well, we found out that through a DNA test, because we thought initially he was a terrier mix, sort of an all-purpose, mutt. And we decided, he has a very distinctive look. So we thought, we'll do a DNA test. And sure enough, we found out he was 42% poodle, small poodle, 32% Chihuahua, and 26% pug. So he has a Chihuahua head, a poodle body, pug ears and neck and chest.
A distinguished gentleman if I ever saw one.
Absolutely, one of a kind.
When we got the report and Pat read it out loud, she went, "Oh, he's a Poochipug."
You knew exactly what that was.
Nature.
Well, he's a beauty. I love the little tuft of hair.
Yes.
Pat and Howard, so his adoption story, I mean, when did you realize he was heartworm positive, and how did you decide to write a book?
Oh, that's two different questions.
Yeah, I'll answer the first one.
Okay.
The first one was that very shortly, within a couple of weeks after our dog Aggie passed away, we were so grief-stricken that we just didn't know what to do. And I decided, well, let's go to the Humane Society and let's see if there is a dog that we could foster. And maybe that would help. And so we found this little guy, and they told us right away he's heartworm positive. And we got to thinking about that, and we said, look, we're heartsick with grief, and he's heartsick with heartworms. Why don't we help heal each other?
Oh.
And that's why we decided to foster him, which was, we thought, well, all right, we'll foster him through his treatments.
Right.
And before the treatments were even finished, we said, foster fail. We got to adopt this little guy. He's not going anywhere except home with us.
Yeah. And then Howard, the book, how did the book come about? Because that's a beautiful adoption story, but most people just kind of leave it there.
Yeah.
Well, it takes a year before you find out whether the treatment for heartworm disease was successful. So we had adopted him the early part of 2022, and we didn't find out until Christmas time that he was now heartworm free. So in January and February, I started thinking about it, and I said, we have so many messages in our story, our journey with Lucky. And we wanted to honor Aggie, who we loved dearly. She was with us for 10 years.
Wow.
And went over the Rainbow Bridge suddenly, and we were very grief-stricken. So we wanted to honor her, and at the same time we wanted to celebrate our life with Lucky and celebrate the fact that he had been cured.
Yeah.
So even if nobody reads the book, we decided let's tell the story because it's worth telling, and it's a story that not only children should hear, but adults. Well, we found out adults love the story. Our reviews on Amazon are fantastic from adults.
And it must
awesome.
be satisfying to know your work is resonating with people. Macy, I'm so glad that we're highlighting this story because for a lot of folks, when it comes to adopting a pet, knowing that they are heartworm positive can be a barrier.
Yeah.
People don't realize it's totally curable.
For sure, and we do all that we can to make sure that we're educating those who come through the doors and are interested in maybe adopting a dog that's heartworm positive, because we're really upfront about it. We want you to know the test has been done and we're doing all that we can to help. So, the proceeds from Lucky the Poochipug are actually going to help sponsor those treatments for those people who would like to take home an animal and love on them through that treatment.
Oh, that's fantastic.
Yeah.
So a portion of the proceeds of this book help other people who may adopt a pet with who is heartworm positive.
That's right.
And I believe there being a sponsor is matching our contribution.
Yes.
I believe that's true.
Yeah, that was in the month of February, and because of that, we exceeded our goal. So right now, all of our heartworm-positive dogs at the shelter are sponsored for their heartworm treatment. So that shouldn't, make an adopter think twice. Just adopt the dog you love. Don't worry about the finances part. We'll walk you through treatment.
I love it.
That is amazing. And, it seems like the Humane Society, especially in the city of Houston, it's like your work is almost never over, right? Yeah. So you always have events coming up. Books and projects like this obviously help. But what are you excited about for the Humane Society right now?
We're so thankful for, Lucky's donation, Pat and Howard's donation to us. We're also gearing up for our annual fun run, and Lucky will be there. You can get him to sign your books for you.
Put his paw on your book. Yeah.
It's going to be May 18th at Mason Park, and it's one of our largest donation events of the year, fundraising events of the year. Come out for carnival games, a dog and people 1.5K. We're going to have a food truck village, a vendor village. Lisa and Zach from KPRC will be hosting, emceeing, and there will be live music as well. It'll be a great time.
It's a party.
We love that. And so for Heartworm Awareness Month, the month of April,
yes,
Houston Humane Society is hosting like a special.
Yeah, so we have a full service clinic, and it's attached to the shelter. You can just pop on right in. And when you purchase 6 months or more of heartworm prevention, you'll receive a free heartworm test, just to ensure you, in order to purchase the heartworm prevention, you have to have that negative test to ensure that it's safe for the dog to receive it. So it's complimentary.
Very
cool.
nice.
Yeah.
Well, Pat and Howard London and Lucky and Macy Stays, it's great seeing all of you.
Thank you so
Well, we
much.
also didn't want to forget, because there's such a large Hispanic population in Houston, we've translated the book into Spanish.
Wow.
And it will be published.
It'll be published in about 30 days.
That's
Awesome.
brilliant.
Fantastic.
That's brilliant.
Yeah.
I
So
love
it'll
it.
be aware.
Nice. Well, thanks to all 4 of you, and best of luck with the
Thank
book.
you.
We're glad you made time for us today.
Thank
at
you so
Houston
much for
Life.
sharing the story.
Thank you.
Of course.
great
And
story.
in the meantime, if you would like to support the Londons and Little Lucky and the Houston Humane Society's mission, we have provided a link with all the details. Just visit HoustonLife.tv.